So you need to figure out whether there is truly a complementary skill set.
Yeah.
If I do this really, really well, regardless of how disorganized I might be, and I need this person to do this really well, and they do it, and it only works if the two of us do it together. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Or the three of us do it together. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And like in our situation, all three of us are essential. Either one of us goes and it would have a pretty big impact
So it's like a
on the
tripod.
company. Yeah. Like we said, we make the decisions together. We discuss everything together. Honestly, even right now, I'm based in Karachi. Zahan's based in Lahore now, and Rehan is here half the year and in the US half the year. And we get on call for an hour, 2 hours almost every night, and we go through everything. All because especially when it comes down to, like, right now we're looking at potentially expanding globally as well, and so there's so many different considerations that we like to have those discussions, together and make those decisions together. What moves do we make first or later? And because we're bootstrapped and we're very lean, those decisions are very important as well. We don't have that extra money to necessarily just blow. So it's a lot about what do we do first, and then this, and then this, and then this. And so we try and come to terms with that together, so we're on the same page.
Tell me about the COVID period, because one thing that I understand is, you come from sort of families that can afford and support your lifestyle. And if you go through a difficult patch, there's at least a cushion at the back, right? You went and you studied abroad, so COVID being a difficult period for the business, you had the cushion to land on, right? So there's two parts to this question. How would someone who doesn't have that cushion survive something as difficult as COVID based on your experience of surviving COVID? Because you had the cushion.
Yeah, so there's a few different things here. One of us had to get a part-time job to actually be able to sustain. I myself, after my father passed away, there was a lot of issues. So while the cushion was there in the sense that I don't have to pay rent, and the cars were there, I was not necessarily earning anything or didn't have too much in the bank or anything like that. So there was that. And, so we still had to make money to survive somewhat, and not just for ourselves. Even if we were okay in that regard, like, we would have been fine, but the company would have died. And so you still wanted to sustain the company, and we were not willing to let that go. Whether people believed in the vision itself or not, we did. And we knew that after COVID, that vision was only going to expand because people were starved for entertainment. And so we had to make it survive. So there was on one side, like, us earning for ourselves to live. And on the other side, there was generating more revenue some way or another to make sure that Ticketwala survives. And so there were different things that we did for each of those things. So for example, one of us had to get a part-time job for themselves, but then part-time work on Ticketwala. The other two of us, we had we launched a marketing agency, and we started essentially taking on clients, and those clients would pay the bills, and then we were able to give those marketing services for free to Ticketwala. So we were able to earn ourselves from the marketing agency and also sustain Ticketwala from there. Now, if, let's say, you're in a completely different situation and you don't have any kind of cushion whatsoever, maybe you're even in school, I think that's where it becomes really important to have co-founders on board. Where you said that 3 might be too much, I think it's because there's 3 of us that we were able to get through it. So if it was 2, we'd be stretched too thin, or we wouldn't be able to focus. And if there was more than 3, I think it would be very difficult to get to any sort of conclusion when it comes to making decisions. And so for me, I like that 3 number. But again, it depends on the business itself. But at the same time, you also need to live, and for that, you need to earn. And without that earning, things get very overbearing and stressful. And then you're not able to actually focus on the business itself. So it's important to pay yourself one way or another. So if that means doing a part-time job or whatever it is, you can always do this on the side. But you need to earn something.